Now it's time for Straight on the Point with Jessie T from some undisclosed location somewhere in the world. Now, ladies and gentlemen, here's Jessie T.
Well, I'm totally confused here.
You need some help?
I do.
Okay.
Can you?
Okay. Let's get this together.
Come here and help me.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
What do we do? Where do we go? Tell me, guide me.
You got to take the little ones off completely.
Okay.
And then you put them somewhere where they won't get tangled up in my face and my ears.
Okay. Is that good? Is that?
How did you figure that out so fast?
No, because I'm a mom. Because I multitask. That's
I
why.
always love my mama.
Yes.
She's the only girl. That's right. Absolutely. Hey, it's time for the Jessie T Show. All tangled proofed here and feeling pretty good. And I have my very, very special and terrific friend who I'm going to completely blow her name, even though I've said it 73 times before the show. I am going to, and she's going to probably give me a left hook or left jab to the side here in a second. ADA LUZ PLA.
Luz
PLA.
You got it almost right.
Almost right. You know, look I got the first and the last and the middle I got all messed up on.
It's okay.
I always get top and bottom. In the middle, I get lost.
It's okay. When I was in, I remember second grade, my teacher used to call me ADA play. And it was like screeching on the board.
Oh, that's funny.
And that's why I had everybody call me Ada, because it was like ADA play.
ADA play.
Oh, we're going to add a, we're ADA
like
play.
Add a play.
ADA play, right. And I had a production company by the name of ADA Play.
Did you really?
At a play. PLA. It was a play on words,
right.
But it was, I remembered that. And it used to bother me, but I was like, hey, this is not too bad after all.
Well, no, I'm messing with the cameras here right now while she's talking. It's her show right now. So.
No, it's our show.
Yeah. I like that, boy. She can take care of me and get me untangled.
Yeah.
You know, guys are like that. We get ourselves really confused really easily sometimes.
Yeah, no, my husband, he's, I'm like, babe.
Right.
I got this. Just relax.
Yeah, don't worry about it, right?
We're good. He's like, all right.
Well, I can't get that one lined up, so I'm not going to worry about it. But this is our Facebook feed, and it's
okay.
going. But okay, what are we doing here? Oh yeah, it's my show. That's right. It's the Jessie T Show. Good to be back with you here. The Brown Beauty is back on duty. Hey, we are podcasting live here from the beautiful place we call paradise. Except there's just too many friggin' people everywhere, and it's going to increase tenfold over the next 15 years. I can't even imagine what the 405 freeway is going to be like in 15 years when all these little tykes out there get their cars and licenses and start driving. Oh, please, Uber and Lyft, take over, please. Or the Elon Musk tunnel that's just about where we're at now, going 3 miles one direction. Something's got to give, because we got to get back to some peace and quality around this city. God, it's so crowded, but it's another beautiful day in the place we love to live by the Pacific Ocean. We got snow on the mountains, you got surfing in the beach, and you got the desert in between. I sound like Jerry Dunphy from the mountains to the oceans in all of Southern California. It's the Jessie T Show. Hey, we are happy to have you back with us here live in the studio, and we've been doing a lot of stuff outside in the street and all around, remotes and premieres and red carpets and award shows and chasing cops who are chasing bad guys and chasing after fires and chasing after all kinds of things, Dan the Man and I. So it's good to be back here in the studio with you as we broadcast live on Facebook.com/Jessie Torrero, Instagram live at Jessie Torrero, YouTube at Jessie Torrero, Twitter, LinkedIn, Blogger, Tumblr, Google+, Pinterest, and the list goes on and on, all on the platform of the powerofvoices.com. Thanks a lot for having us on and joining us. 424-227-9461 is the number if you want to ask this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful lady to my rights here at a LUZ PLA.
Hey.
I got it right?
That was great.
You like that?
No, the entire format of how you speak, and you hit it. It was just fantastic. I was like, how does he do that?
You know something? I used to get myself terribly in trouble at night with Mama T because I would talk in my sleep, and when I was a bad boy, she'd catch all my stuff, so I knew never to be a bad boy again.
My son talks in his sleep.
Yeah, that's when you find everything out.
Yes, I do.
You just sit there, and then you catch him a couple of days later and say, so how was that party on Saturday night that you guys drove down there by the big tree? And he looks at you and goes, Mom, how did you know that?
Little birdie told me.
Moms have telepathic powers.
We do.
You do. I honestly, I truly believe that because we are born from the womb, and the womb is a connection to another human being. Where men don't have that with their children. We plant the seed, but there's a separation immediately once the seed is planted. But in a woman, the seed grows and the baby comes out of a human being. So you have a telepathic connection, I think, that is vastly different than men and children.
That's an interesting way to look at it. I never saw it that way, but maybe that's what it is, because it's just this feeling that you get that you just can't shake.
Yeah.
You just know.
And, the more moms you talk to, their children can be on the other side of the planet or the other side of the country or completely somewhere else. And yet mom will always know something's not right. I don't know what it is.
It's funny you say that. Recently, my son was playing football, and I couldn't get there in time because I had to pick up my other son, and we were stuck in traffic. And suddenly, I felt this jolt in my heart, and I knew something wasn't right. And I just started praying, And then when I got there, he seemed okay. Right. But prior to my arrival, he had he hit really hard and had a concussion.
Oh, no.
And so I was in the emergency room with him all night, but I knew exactly when it happened.
You pinpoint the time.
I just felt it, and I just looked at the time, and I was like, there's nothing I was sitting in traffic, bumper to bumper traffic, and there was nothing I can do but leave it up to God. And I just prayed about it and just let it go. And then when I got there, I saw him, but you can tell that something wasn't right, But we know.
You just know those things.
We know.
And from an actor's standpoint, too, and in terms of that connection you have to have with words on a page, which are so far removed from people's normal lives. Right. Usually you play a role that is so far removed from what you are as a natural human being living your life from day to day.
Right.
There's a disconnect there, so you have to find that way of connecting. And it's interesting that there probably allows a certain kind of connection there, which is that euphoric kind of mystery, I think that ladies bring to a role that is different than a man. A man has to approach a role in a little different way, maybe a more physical characteristic, where a woman can approach a role from a more
emotional and visceral.
Visceral. That's the word I'm looking for. Right.
It's visceral. We just have that. We're in tune.
Yeah.
By nature.
Yeah.
That's just how we are.
It's a natural process.
Yeah. It makes you a better actor, I think.
Well, yeah. And lately, move a little closer so we can get you both on here just a little bit. Leah, is she still okay? Not is she? Or should I turn this just a little bit there? Okay, yeah. That way, then we can get a little bit of my mug with your mug,
there,
and we can have mugs together. We can have mutual mug shots.
Yeah, we do.
Yes, I've had a mug shot before. Oh. Ooh, I shouldn't have said that. Oh, well.
I'm not going to say my mug
No.
shots. I'm going to keep that one to myself. Maybe not.
Yes, that's right.
Maybe I have, maybe I have
Hey, where
not.
did you grow up?
In the Bronx.
You're a New York girl.
I'm a New Yorican.
I would never have heard that because you've completely lost the accent.
Except when I get really angry.
Oh, it comes out
and then it's like, it just, and then it's uncontrollable.
Puerto Rican?
I'm Puerto Rican, Cuban, and Dominican.
Oh, you're just all mixed up.
Yes, I am. I was born in Puerto Rico and raised in Castle Hill Projects. In the Bronx.
Really?
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Yes.
Yeah? Forget about it.
Forget about it.
That's right. Forget about it. Good movie coming out with The Irishman, but it's not actually called The Irishman, with Pacino, De Niro, Keitel, and some other great stars. Scorsese, of course, is doing it. So it's about the guy who killed Hoffa, the actual guy. And actually, they're naming the movie, they're changing the name. It's come out in the 19, and a lot of it was shot down in there.
Really?
And it's coming out 2019. It's going to be called, and Lee, you probably know the statement because you were in New York for a long time. They paint the house red.
Huh.
And what that means that they paint the house red, it means someone whacks you and your blood stains go all over the wall.
Wow.
And it's a book that was...
That's very biblical, like Moses.
That a lawyer wrote 15 years ago.
Wow.
And De Niro got a copy of it 10 years ago. And he said, that's my next movie.
That's
and it's
fantastic.
been 10 years to... It takes a long time to bring something to bear, doesn't it, in this industry?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I would love to do the biopic of Sonia Sotomayor.
Oh, really?
Could you imagine?
I can't.
She's from the Bronx.
I know.
She's Puerto Rican. I read her book and I couldn't put it down. I read it like in 2-3 days, but it was just that good. But her life story really mirrored mine in many, many ways. There was a lot of adversities that she had to overcome, and it's fantastic. She's a fantastic woman. I'd love to do her story.
So when you were growing up, obviously you speak Spanish, but in every country, Spanish is spoken just a little bit differently because there's different words that mean different things and different sentence structure, and it comes in different ways. Like España is different than Costa Rica. Costa Rica is different than Argentina. Argentina is different than East LA. East LA is different than Mexico, right? And it's all different. So you had like 3 Spanish influences in you. So when you had to speak Spanish, how the heck did you know what to say? Because you'd be talking like a foreign language to some people.
It depends on where. It's funny because I can switch it up depending on where.
Can you really?
Yeah, yes, absolutely.
Okay, give me 3 things in Spanish. Yeah, a simple sentence in the 3 different kind of forms from the 3 different backgrounds.
I was just talking to my niece, and we always now the thing in New York to say is "qué lo que." ¿Qué lo que?
¿Qué lo que?
¿Qué lo que? That means what's up.
¿Qué lo que?
¿Qué lo que?
¿Qué lo que?
That's a Dominican term.
Okay.
And so every time we hang up, we're like, ¿qué lo que?
¿Qué lo que?
And my kids are, Cubans, I don't know too much because I wasn't raised so much with my biological father.
And there weren't a lot of Cubans in New York. They're down south.
Right,
Florida,
in Florida.
Georgia, that area.
My biological father's he's born in Cuba, but he was raised in Washington Heights.
Oh, okay.
In St. Nick, 174th Street. So there was a lot of Cubans.
Okay.
Who migrated.
Cubans speak really fast.
They do. So I don't really know much about Cuban except when I'm talking to you, and then I can get it. But but Puerto Rican is ¿qué pasó?
¿Qué pasó? That's right.
¿Qué pasa?
Yeah. ¿Qué pasó? That's
Dominicans is like, ¿qué pasa? ¿Qué pasó?
¿Qué pasó?
Oye, ¿qué pasó?
¿Qué pasó?
So it depends on who I'm talking to. I can go right into it. So we have to be in mid conversation for me to be able to switch it up. I can.
You know something? I needed to have your lovely energy with me when they told me never to come back to Mexico.
Why?
Yeah. Oh, I can't go back to Mexico.
Okay.
No.
Okay. No, we have to change that.
No, you'll never get me back in Mexico.
Really?
No. I won't put 1 foot in. I'll go anywhere else, but I won't go to Mexico.
Okay, we're gonna save that conversation for later on. I have to hear that one though.
Yeah, they won't. He said, son, don't ever come back to my country because you just might not leave the desert.
Ooh.
And I said, yes, sir.
Ooh.
Anything like that ever happened to you where you were in another country where you kind of got in trouble and you said, oh, God, I got to get home. I got to get out of here.
I can't say that happened to me. I can't say that has happened, at least not yet.
Were you a tough young girl when you were growing up? I mean, were you kind of rousy or were you more the princess type girl?
No, I was never a princess. That came later on. But no, I grew up with nothing but brothers. My sister and I, we're probably tougher than our brothers. And a lot of our male cousins were always in our lives. So and I've always hung out with a lot of guys. And my girlfriends are tougher than anybody I know.
They'd be kicking some ass and some guys.
The Bronx girls, we're tough.
Yeah,
we're
you
tough.
are.
However,
I love them though.
I will say this: my mother would always say, "Don't start none, won't be none." My mother's motto was, if you start trouble, you're gonna have to deal with me. If trouble starts and you don't finish it, you're gonna have to deal with me.
It's sort of like the concept that if you go looking for trouble, I'm gonna give you more trouble than you ever thought you would find.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Yes. No, I was never a troublemaker. I'd rather, you know, be happy and, you know, just, you know.
You were the life of the party.
I was,
the happy girl.
yes.
The spark, right?
Yes, I walk in and it was like, Ada's here.
Well, just like she is right now, guys. I'm telling you, it's
right.
We don't change much over the years.
No, we don't. You know, we don't. But however, it's funny because people are like, oh my God, you're so sweet, you're so kind. And then when you get to that side of me where it's just, you know, they're like, oh, she's so ghetto. Oh my gosh, she's so ghetto. And I'm like, I'm not ghetto. You know, it's just you know, if I need to go there, I'm gonna go there, but I'd rather not.
That's when you see Jessie T running down the street really fast, like a dog with his tail between his legs and his ears back.
Yeah,
and somebody chasing him. Forget it. No, I'm running fast. I know how to get out.
Yeah, no, I was. You know,
you better be able to do 5 miles because it's going to take you that long to catch me.
Yeah,
absolutely. Well, you know, you got to have that spark. My daughter, who's 28, she's a world-class athlete,
really?
Goalkeeper.
Nice.
She plays for Chicago Red Stars, and she just got contracted to play for the Chilean national team because her mother, Mama T, is Chilean by birthright. So she got dual citizenship. She's coming back in a day and a half. She's a tough girl too, and I always told her, you know, I raised her in her timeline.
Right.
That I knew this was going to happen in her timeline. That the idea that women were when she was born 28 years ago, that the glass ceiling kind of concept was being talked about and starting to move in that direction. And I knew 30 years down the road that women would be in different empowering positions.
Right.
It would take a woman who was not just a princess, because a feminine. A woman who's feminine, or her femininity will always be there. Will always be a woman, unless, of course, you want to be a transgender, one of the other 72 other genders, which I only think there's 2, but I always have to get that political statement in. That's just me, Jessie T. Can't help but being me. But nevertheless, she's going to hit me. I know she is.
No.
But
I'm amazed at how you can just roll it out. You know, I'm just watching you. I'm just like, wow, this is amazing.
So I always taught her, I wanted to be tomboyish, but had that femininity as a woman as she grew older as a woman, and she has that. She's kicked every boyfriend's ass, and I think the new boyfriend she has, I think she's maybe gonna really, she kind of likes him, and she's getting older.
This is the one, huh?
I don't know, but she softened her approach a little, but I wanted her to have that power that we're talking about. And I think people from New York, that's just part of who they are.
You know, I think or
the New York area.
Yeah, no, I think, you know, life is fast in New York. Everything is, you know, together, you know, quick now. You know, my husband is from Alabama. Oh, when I take him to New York and we're walking in Manhattan, you know, it's automatic. He's like, he's so lost, but he loves it. Yeah, he is like, it is like nothing in the world. But that's just how we are. We're just, you know, moving and shaking. He's just grinders, you know, just hustlers. You know, we're just moving and shaking. We have to. It has to happen yesterday.
That song that Frank Sinatra did, that Liza Minnelli. It was actually written for Liza Minnelli in Cabaret, New York, New York. Mm-hmm. That was her song. But you know, when Frankie wanted to take your song and make it a hit, what are you going to say to Blue Eyes? Frankie, no, sir. No, yes, Frank, please don't kill me.
But didn't she do it also?
Yeah, she did it.
She's done it.
But you know, please don't send Shimbatsawala after me, okay? You know, but when Frankie did that song, that the words of that song emulate what you just said. Right. You know, if you're going to make it, you're going to make it anywhere. I can make it in New York, anywhere.
It's that
true.
It's do or die.
Yeah, it really is.
Do or die. You know, you have to, you know, there's no quitters. You know, you either sink or you swim.
The minute you said your husband is from Alabama, I was thinking the Patrick Swayze movie, Kin, when his remember the Patrick Swayze movie and Sam Elliott was in it, and they came from Alabama or Mississippi because their kinfolk died in Chicago or Philly or New York. And they were country folk that had to come and deal with.
I remember that. Yeah.
Oh, look it up. I thought that movie was Patrick Swayze. He played this kind of Alabama-ish kind of guy, right? And his kinfolk get killed. He has to come to the big city for the first time, and the big city had to deal with this kind of backwoods kind of Law and Justice, right?
Right. I think I remember it. Yeah.
Long time ago.
It's starting to come.
Yeah, that's right.
That was before my time.
Well, that's true, because you're only 19.
I'm only 19.
Yes, I know that. I know. I'm as old as Moses. You know, I was here when the Dead Sea was alive.
Oh,
yes.
no.
The Salton Sea used to be fresh water when I was here.
No, you're not that old.
Oh, yeah,
you might be old like that in heart and wise. You might be wise like that, but no.
I don't know. When my teeth fall out at night and I dribble out my shirt, you just don't see that part of me. I'm blessed that I still have Mama T around me, man. Yeah. What are you talking about? So, but this all adds to you getting these great parts. Like, you are in this great series with nothing but tough, rowdy ass, bad, hardcore biker, gangster kind of actors emulating these vicious guys on Harleys and right. And of course, we're talking about
the Mayans MC.
Oh yes, Mayans, man.
Mayans MC.
When you got that part, I read a little bit about it. Is it true that you weren't going to take that part?
I had decided I wasn't even going to audition for it. I told my agent, you know, and I say this over and over again, and I have to say it again. It is not because I was judging the character because she plays a prostitute. It is because where I am in my lifetime right now as a mom, as a wife, as a Christian.
Right.
I didn't feel that I would serve the role better than another actor would.
Right.
And sometimes, you know, and not that roles are coming to me, you know. Right. I mean,
you work for everything you get.
Exactly. Yeah. But you know, I just felt like, am I going to really fully commit and be able to fully commit? Am I going to be able to go to sleep at night and feel good?
Right.
You know, I mean, and as a writer,
right.
And
you write too.
Right. We as an actor, we're very limited with what we can say we're willing and not willing to do.
Sure.
So who am I to say, you know, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah. I
would do this, but I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
So you have to, I mean, you can build a relationship with the writers and the directors and say, okay, you know, can we, you know, but you don't really have that luxury. So as an actor, I needed to make sure that I would be able to commit fully.
What helped you make the decision to take this role?
My agent says, just read it.
You
don't have to take it. You don't have to go to the audition. Just read it. As a matter of fact, just go to the audition and see if you can build a relationship with this casting director, Wendy O'Brien. Who is just,
come on,
fantastic.
She's great.
So I said, I'll read it, and I was bawling. I was just crying. I related to Celia in a visceral way, in a way, you know, the scars, her past, her pain, what brought her to the profession that she, you know, the vices that she was exposed to, what happened in her lifetime that caused her to be this person, and then to inflict pain on those she loves because that's the only way that she knows how to love.
And you're in a male-dominated series like Sons of Anarchy.
Right.
And for those of you who haven't seen Mayans, you got to check it out at least one time. And for those of you who are fans of Mayan MC, it is. You know what I'm talking about. It is the Sons of Anarchy from a different point of view, from a whole different ideology and concept, and it's a branch off of that because the characterizations started, the story started in Sons of Anarchy. But
by way of Emilio Rivera, who plays El Padrino. Oh,
isn't he great?
He is fantastic, and he on and off.
Yeah,
you know, he's a great actor.
Yeah,
great actor. But he's such a given human being.
Right.
He's such a great human being on camera and off camera. So I love him.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you grow those bondings when you work on a set. And if you work on a set more than, 2 hours or one day, you get some sort of bonding with people.
But first I have to give a shout out to Richard Cabral, who plays my son. He was nominated for a Critics' Choice Award.
Oh, man, that's coming up.
I am so excited.
Wow.
We're all rooting for him. So,
Great.
Please support him. He is fantastic. And one of the things I love about him, and everyone, I think, on this show is that you're walking into this where the trajectory of your life could have been something completely different.
Oh, yeah.
And so acting it has completely saved you know, a lot of these actors, myself included, but
the history of actors, of men and women becoming actors is riddled with very serious disruptions in their previous lives. To say it nicely.
It's just
so many of them have been wounded and hurt in a certain way, and acting has presented them the opportunity to cleanse themselves and become something better than they were before. Right. So it is a great elixir for a lot of pain.
You know, I'm just happy. You know, I'm just excited.
But to back to the idea that, you know, you're working with a male-dominated cast. You just can't go in there and be Wonder Woman. You know, you can't go in there and be a tough, I'm going to use the word broad, hey, rah, rah, biker witch. You know, you can't go in there and be that, because then you just would melt into the cast of the macho-ness of what they're trying to emulate. Right. So you found another way to exude the strength and passion in that way. And was that what you saw?
Yes. To answer your question, yes. So when I saw Celia, the character Celia doesn't know that she's a victim. She sees herself as a survivor. Yeah. In her mind, I'm a survivor of the streets. I've done it all. I've been there. I've done that. I will cut you if I have to. But the actor, Ada Luz Pla, I saw the victim. I saw the woman who was discarded by society, you know, who needed love and never got it. And she has this need to be loved.
In real life, besides doing this is real life because I do this all the time, but I fight human trafficking. I've been doing that for 10 years. In Los Angeles, I'm the director of the Coalition Against Human Trafficking, CHOT, C-A-H-T. And we cleaned up an area that had a 100-year systemic problem of prostitution and trafficking. 100 years.
Yes.
100 years.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
And I remember the area when I was a child. My mother always used to say, you know, just walk through that area or ride your bike through that area and don't hang out. Okay, no problem. It wasn't that bad then in 1970, but it got really bad here in the 2000s. And so we cleaned it up. One of the problems, and you hit a buzzword, and it's so very important for people to know this, is getting serious for a second about this. One of the problems that women and men, boys and girls have that are kidnapped and thrown into human trafficking, because they are kidnapped. Nobody wakes up one day and says, I'm going to go to the Human Trafficking University at Berkeley.
We don't wake up and say, I want to be a prostitute. Or I want to be
a pimp. Or I learn how to be a prostitute. Or I want to learn how to be a sex slave worker in film or on the street. No one grows up wanting to do that. And if you do, then there's something psychologically impaired and wrong with you. But the point is, one of the first things I had to do, and when I got on the scene, we were able to clean this thing up in about 5 years, 100-year systemic problem. Because I'm just as energetic and crazy you think I am now. Well, you know, you put a 45 in my hand, I'm gonna, and there's another side that comes out.
Don't we all?
Right. You know, so I mean, that's literally kind of what it took.
Right.
And a whole bunch of people jumping on ship with me.
Yeah.
But the first thing we had to do is we had to teach the city of Los Angeles, the state of California, the mayor, the city council, the police, that the people that are actually conducting the sexual act, and our part of human trafficking was the sexual act, because I wanted to help kids. These average age is 12 to 14 years old when they get kidnapped, and then they die in 7 years and never saw again. Only 3% of them ever get rescued around the planet Earth. That's it, even today. So the point is, we had to teach everybody that these are victims. They are victims.
And bring awareness.
They're victims.
Yes.
But they have to, in themselves, the children and the young people that were incarcerated in the slavery, they didn't see themselves as victims.
They don't.
And they too had to learn that they were victims. And when finally that word resonated, the victimization of it all, then people understood, wait a minute, they aren't the problem. Yeah. They're the victims of the problem. The problem is over there.
Right.
And so that point you bring up, she doesn't see herself as a victim.
She does not, but she is.
Yeah.
She's a victim.
Right.
You know, and it's a social chain.
Right.
You know, it's a cultural and social chain where you are a woman or a man who is deep rooted in scars and pain.
Right.
And you pass them forward until somebody says enough.
Yeah, someone says enough. And unfortunately they don't. So now the new season has started already? Or
no, not yet.
Not yet. It's coming up, right? Yeah. And you're going to be in some of it and all of it. We aren't going to tell any of the spoiler stuff here, but they're going to introduce you, and you have a whole lineage here. You're in the middle of a whole family line of people here. I mean, grandma, mom, daughter. It's an interesting little storyline. And where can they see the folks that don't know where to see the show? What is it?
I'm not sure, but I think Netflix.
Netflix,
maybe
yeah,
is
it's
it
a Netflix show.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I get it mixed up with HBO or Netflix.
I think it's Netflix.
Yeah.
Well, Netflix has Sons of Anarchy, so I would imagine.
Yeah. You're absolutely. This is going to do wonders for you, and you stepped away from this career for a little while.
I did. I didn't necessarily step away. I wasn't grinding. Right. I was in my New York grinding because my husband is a stand-up comedian,
right?
And he travels, and I
have
all
the time.
Yes, all the time.
Yeah,
and I have two little boys at the time. You know, I have a 14 now and an 11-year-old, and they're still young, but they can take care of themselves now. And both of our families are in the East Coast, so I had nobody.
Oh wow!
I mean, I have a village of moms and parents, you know, where we look out for one another. But at the end of the day, somebody needed to stay home with those babies.
Well, look I stepped away from the industry when I was 34 years old for 16 years. I shut the door completely, walked away from it because I wanted to be Mr. Mom. I wanted to be Mr. I wanted to be a dad to my daughter and my son.
Right.
And but I had the ability to do that because I had another income to be able to support me and satisfy the things I need to satisfy for me personally. But I didn't come back. And that's the beauty of this industry. You can always step back into it at any pace that you want.
Right. And that's what I did. I needed to. But I would still go on auditions, but again, I was very selective.
Right.
If it took me out of the state,
right,
and out of the city of Los Angeles, I would not accept it because obviously, I was not going to disrupt the lifestyle of my kids.
No, you can't.
But it's not to say that it's a wrong decision or a right
decision.
No,
it was your decision.
It was just my journey.
Yeah, it's your journey. Everybody's journey is different. There's no right or wrong in anybody's journey unless you hurt somebody else in your journey. Then you're wrong.
Right.
There's just no black and white.
Right.
No gray zone there. It's just black and white for me. So that's cool. So now you've got that going on, but I was looking at your IMdb site. If you want to see all the wonderful things this wonderful young lady has done, because she's a young lady compared to me. She's just she's a little tight. But if you want to see all the wonderful things that she's done, go to our IMdb site. And in a little bit, we're going to play your show reel that your publicity people sent over to us.
Okay.
And it's a little bit long, so we're not going to play all 8 minutes of it.
Okay.
But we're going to probably play maybe 4 or 5 minutes of it. I think we'll be able to get a good idea of kind of the dynamic that you are. Did you find it hard to learn your craft? Did it come to you easily? Was it a difficult process to learn how to be an actor?
In the beginning, it was. And it was because I started out as a dancer. And that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a ballerina.
Really?
Yeah. But I was first generation high school graduate. So my parents felt that I needed...
First generation high school graduate. Not college graduate. No, high school.
High school.
Wow.
So my parents felt that I needed to go to college so that my siblings, my younger the cousins, the younger generation coming below me, they can have some sort of understanding. And I was, I felt that was important. So I hung up my little ballet shoes and decided, because I used to dance with Dance Theater of Harlem, not in their professional program. I was training to be a part of their professional program, and it never got, that
just didn't get that far
that dream.
With it.
And so I went to SUNY Binghamton to study law.
You're going to be a lawyer.
And in particular, my father wanted me to be a criminal lawyer.
Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord.
It's like, I could just be any lawyer.
Yeah.
We need you to be a criminal lawyer.
Take care of anybody in the family and extend
And if it's
that
a doctor,
everybody gets in trouble.
yeah, and if you're going to be a doctor, it's going to be a surgeon. You can't just
Because you got to fix it. Oh, that's funny. That is funny, man. That is funny.
So, yeah, so I went.
Your dad was very forced.
Oh,
very
yeah, he was no joke.
He was thinking about the second cousin's brother, sister's nephew that he has to take care of.
Man, I tell you, you know how many cousins my kids have had that have been away to college for a long time. I said, wait, when is he gonna finish college? I was like, he's earning his PhD.
Yeah, he went to state school, the state penitentiary.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's what I say. I say this. He went to state. Yeah, I went to state school. Yeah. I went to the state pen.
Yeah,
and you know something? I did pretty good in there.
Right. Yeah, we do. I got my PhD. I'm good. Anywho,
oh, that's funny.
I'll never forget.
And you come home and be an actress, and your father probably goes, "Oh gosh."
Yeah, no. Well, my father was like, he knew that I was really distraught because I loved the arts, and the arts was truly my escape. It was my way out.
It is for a lot of people.
It is, yeah. So I was a minor in sociology, and I just came home and I told my parents, I was like, I know you guys want me to be this lawyer, and I love the law,
right?
But I have to do my dreams.
I'll
give you the degree. I'm going to give you that.
Yeah.
But then after that, you have to let me do me.
Yeah.
And they did. They were like, okay, you know what? Just if you just give us that, if we can just watch you walk down that aisle,
get that paper, baby.
Get
that JD.
And these
That's right.
these other brothers and sisters can see you. We're good.
Get that JD.
So
yes.
So we did. So I did.
Yeah, I can relate to that.
I was a theater major.
I can relate to that.
Did.
I did the same thing.
Yeah.
Same thing.
And then I went on and I just said, okay, so if I'm going to really do this, I have to really understand what I'm doing, because my parents, they were always very supportive. That wasn't their dream for me.
Right.
But they were supportive. They just didn't know how to support me.
Right.
They knew nothing about.
Right.
They knew nothing about college, let alone,
Well, you're the first high school graduate.
Yeah, so you want to be a what? An actress.
Yeah. Well, what's that? What's that about? Wait a minute.
But they were supportive, and you know what's so funny is that the village was, the neighborhood.
You have neighborhood back there.
Yeah.
Even today, you have neighborhood
my
back there.
family. That's family.
You don't have that in Los Angeles.
Yeah. And I miss that.
Yeah.
I miss that. But I have found my mom villages, that we have a strong support system, and we are all like-minded. So I've been blessed to have that here. Not as much as I had.
So you had a little family oddities when you came home and said, "That's it. I'm going to be an actor."
Right.
That's it. And they said, "Oh,
but
they support you."
But even in high school, I was always doing plays. I was always doing regional, like little
regional
regional
I did
theaters,
in high school?
Community theater.
I just played around.
No, I was always in the arts.
Yeah.
So everyone that knew me, they knew that somewhere,
Right.
they didn't know, they didn't think, big like Hollywood or anything, but they thought Broadway, which
sure, that's New York.
Which
that's
was
where
my
you go to.
Originally, that's what I wanted to do.
Esai Morales came out of Broadway.
Yes.
I used to go up against him for parts all the time when he first came to L.A.
Wow.
Way back, 30 years in the 80s. Yeah, he and Tony Danza and I were like, we always would beat each other up for parts.
You look like Tony Danza a little bit.
Yeah, I do. I'm prettier.
Yes.
Yes, I know. Thank you. And if you don't tell me, I'll tell myself. Thank you.
You're prettier.
Tony, I love you. I haven't seen you in 30 years, but I do love you, man. Okay? And I don't want your right hook. Okay?
No, you don't.
No,
you don't.
Well, I'll give you a left back, though. No, I'm getting myself in trouble, don't I? I'm going to read off some of your stuff here. We're going to play your reel because I want people to see you like in action a little bit. Okay? And so give me some quick little thoughts about some of your credits here that I'm just going to kind of read off.
Okay.
Quick little thoughts. Now, I got glasses on, but sometimes I can't see, so you might have to help me.
I can't see either.
Oh, you're blind?
I need my glasses. I'm just trying to look good.
Wait
a
minute.
I'm acting like I can see.
You have brown hair. I thought you had red hair. My goodness. Oh, Lord. Oh, my God. All right. So, give me some one or two lines about that.
that's one of my dearest friends who is one of the best producers, comics, Kiki Melendez.
Oh, I know Kiki.
You know Kiki, yes.
Yeah.
So that's a story of her. That's a documentary, actually.
Right.
Based on her life.
And you're in it?
I'm in it. I
doing
play.
stand-up?
I do a sketch on that because people don't know that I do. I'm funny. I do sketches. I write sketches.
Oh, I think you're funny.
You write, but also
I think you're funny looking.
you think
I got you hook,
think I'm
line, and
funny?
sinker.
No, you have funny story.
Is your husband out of town? I don't want to catch you.
He's out of town. He's out of town, but
Thank
he's
you.
good. He's
watching.
he's
Oh,
good.
no, yes, that's right. Oh,
No, this is a funny story. So, oh my goodness. Let me just see. Hang on.
It says Journey of a Female Comic,
Yeah.
2017. You a camera operator.
Hang on. Yes.
Look at,
Yes.
we're both blind as bats. This is funny, isn't
Hold on.
this?
Okay, so put the cast. Put the cast on there.
Oh, cast. Okay, mouse. Come on. Come on.
Make the print bigger.
I don't know how to do that, Lee. All right.
hang on.
Okay. Kiki, Valencia.
Keep going.
You see, I still can't even see
Keep
this.
going.
Okay. Yeah, right.
Got my story.
Okay.
Because you know I didn't take my vitamin B shots today, so.
Oh, okay.
When you don't take your vitamins,
You're messed up.
You're messed up.
I know.
Lupe Ontivero.
Lupe Antonero.
The fantastic, phenomenal Lupe Ontivero.
There she is.
Kiki
Yeah.
says to me, at that time, I was just starting my production company with my husband.
Right.
And we had like invested in all these cameras and we had all this equipment, but I didn't know how to use it.
That's like buying a Lamborghini, but not knowing how to drive or only ride a horse.
So we would hire, we would hire, independent, camera operators, who knew what they were doing. So I was learning,
Yes.
hands-on, Kiki calls me. She's like, "Oh my goodness, my camera!" And this happens a lot. We use she uses my people, I use her people.
Right.
So we collaborate often in many projects. So this is my ace boon. Anyway, make a long story longer.
Yes, you're doing that quite well. It's okay though.
She says, "I need you to be the camera operator for Lupe Ontivero."
Oh, you don't know how to do it.
And I was like, no, I was doing it with my own production company because I was learning.
Right.
But I didn't feel comfortable.
Right.
I didn't feel like I was there
For
yet.
somebody else. Yes.
If I'm going to mess up my things, that's one thing.
all
But if
right.
I'm going to mess up your project, I go and I do it. And if you notice, if you see this, if you watch it, when I was interviewing her and I was doing I had forgotten my glasses.
Oh, no.
And in certain areas, it's a little out of focus.
It's out of focus. Oh, I've done the out of focus thing because my glasses got dirty or something. I've done the out of focus
And
thing.
I was so mad at Kiki. I was like, I told you not to let me do this. And she was like, oh, it's fine. We'll fix it in editing and post, everything of it. And so they did the best they could. They made it look really good. But every now and then you can just, say, this.
One time I was shooting.
Special effect.
Yes.
I was shooting this one thing because I do that too. I was shooting this one scene in something that I was producing, and a buddy of mine, Sai, was the lead in it. Very terrific character actor for 40 years in town. Professional, right? And so I shot this really. I mean, he gave it, man. He left it right there, man. It was nothing more to give, and the scene was done. So then we took the camera, and I purposely walked away to go look at it. I took the whole tripod and camera and walked away. I broke the set because while I was shooting it, I realized the camera wasn't on.
Oh my gosh.
So I broke the set. I went over here and I got my first AD. He goes, everything okay? He goes, why'd you break the set? I said, look it. He goes, I said, no, don't turn around. Don't, just nod your head.
Right,
oh,
right,
yeah,
right.
yeah. Oh, yeah. All on. Yeah, just nod your head a few times. Okay. So I came back, reset. I said, Sai, we got to do this again. There was a helicopter in the background that I didn't see, and it just we got to do it again. He goes, Okay, no problem, right?
Right.
I was like,
No,
it took it again.
you know, there's an art, and you have to respect when they go to school for that, because you know, you learn as you. I've gotten a lot better now, but
okay, here. Very black win. Very black win. Why? Way back win. Way back. See, I'm telling you, I can't see. Way back when. You did this in 2010. Way back when.
So my husband was producing a show for, was it TV1? I think it was TV1. Yes, it was TV1.
Real fast.
And it was called Way Black When, and it was another documentary, and fantastic. It was about the 70s, 80s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. African American Black actors and their storylines and their lives, and so I was a crew member there. I was assistant to the executive producer, and I, you know, the Shield. Oh, Michael Chiklis.
Yeah,
it was
that
fun.
Cool?
Oh, you have
how
no
fun
idea.
was that?
Oh my goodness,
isn't he great?
He was fantastic.
Yeah.
But I brought it.
You brought it?
I
did
brought
you bring
it
home? You brought
yes,
the bacon,
I did. I brought
baby.
it. I was like, if I'm going to be in this room with Michael Chiklis,
yes,
I need to bring it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be intimidated. I'm not going to sit back. No. We had fun. It was
a great series.
We were hitting back and forth. It was
Hot
so
Tamale.
much fun. Kiki Melendez
Right.
again. This was a stand-up comedy for women.
Right.
Hot Tamales, Hot Tamales the movie?
No, the Hot Tamales.
Oh, Hot Tamales the movie.
Yeah.
Okay. No, that was with Joy Medina. Are you familiar with Joy Medina?
Yes.
Comedian.
Yes.
That was one of his first films that he had written and directed. And he met me when I was doing BET, Black Entertainment Television, the Blackberry In. And based on that character, he hired me for that film.
You know, you got a nice little IMdb site here. Go check her out. She's got lots of cool stuff on here, and it's cool to get these background little stories though, because that's where the fun is.
Yeah,
I mean that's where the fun of being on a set.
The journey, you know, the journey.
Do we have can we play maybe 3 minutes of her reel? Now this is your actor's reel. This is what your publicity sent over to us.
Okay, what am I looking at? Because I have a few.
Well,
okay.
Leave the mics on, and you can make some comments or whatever.
Okay.
As you go. Okay. So this is
Kiki Palmer. Oh, she's fantastic. She's so talented.
Okay, so roll it, my friend.
Come on, walk, buddy. Come on, walk. Cherokee is from the word Muskogee.
So I played her teacher, and I remembered she telling me, you know, you were so forceful. I thought you were my teacher for real. You really scared me. I was really intimidated by you. And I was like, good. You need to be.
Warriors, where do you think you're going? Gemma, I need you to go back to your seat. Gemma, go back to your seat now.
Oh.
Hello. Can I help you?
Yeah, I work right down the street, and I got this letter that was addressed to here.
Thank you.
Sure. I didn't see a sign out front. Didn't know what was in here.
Oh, we're a very small company.
Really? What do you sell?
We're more of a service provider.
Really? What kind of service?
Oh, I just answer the phones. Please.
Sure. Mr. Aaron Boatles, he owns the place? Well, his name was on the letter.
Right.
You have a copier here?
What?
Copier. That's what I do. I sell copiers. How's yours treating you? Mind if I take a look? It'll just take a second.
No, sorry.
Listen, I'm
this
so
is where it
far
gets
behind
fun.
on my sales this month. Hey, you'd be doing me such a big favor if I could just take a quick look. I'll list you as a service contact.
Look, I'm really not supposed to have anybody here,
10
please.
seconds, 10 seconds.
Look, you really need to leave right now.
I can give you a great
Notice
deal
the
on a
accent?
Pantera 5115.
Yeah.
Staple sword, auto fold, all the bells and whistles.
Please.
I guess this isn't a copy room. Sit up. I'm a cop. You see?
What do you want?
Everything there is to know about your Jefe and what goes on around this place.
I just answer the phones.
Who calls?
I don't know.
A few minutes ago, a one-armed man was in here. He dropped off a bag with $200,000 in it.
I don't know anything about that.
Money laundering, conspiracy, illegal transfer of currency out of the country. You'll do time for just picking up the phone and saying, hola. Now, who was Aaron Boles? And what does he do?
I've only been here a month. We're from Mexico City. He was in military intelligence or something. He offered me a job.
Answering phones?
Better than swallowing verga gringo at the club I danced in back home.
So he keeps his oral recreation in-house. What's all this for? The electronics?
All I know is that he's some kind of consultant. Security or something.
Where was he just headed?
To the bank. He has an important meeting with a client tonight.
Who's the client?
I don't know. He doesn't say much to me usually.
No, thick listening is what you do best. Here's how it goes. You forget that you ever saw me, or I tell your boss that you took me on a little tour of his closet full of guns and goodies. ¿Entiendes?
Wow. That is good. I like that. I like that a lot.
That was.
We got to
was
end
fun.
right there because that was fun.
That was fun.
You did bring it.
Yeah.
You did bring it.
I had a blast. You know, I
He
had
was
a blast.
he in that series, it was sort of the first time they shot a police series in that manner. It was a big experiment for the public to see that.
Right.
And it was very popular for a long time. And
It was honest.
Yeah, and pretty
was
much
honest.
pretty much it changed the way that police drama programs were going to be shot after that.
And even technically,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, technically,
Right.
you know, how they, you know,
You feel like these were real people,
Right.
Not just the quality of the.
it's more
talent.
intimate.
Yeah, and the transitions that you guys had to make with each other through that whole series.
We had great chemistry.
Boom, 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 boom.
Really, really great chemistry, and it was quick. It was, you know, oh, okay, she's. I was like, hey, I'm ready. And I say this because I also teach, especially kids, you know, who are
Right.
always so concerned whether they get one line or two,
Right.
and I'm like, you're getting concerned with the wrong thing.
Yes.
You know, you want to. People have gotten Oscars with no lines.
Yes.
You know, Harvey Keitel.
Oh,
Wasn't it the piano? Was it?
Yeah.
No. Was it? Well, anyway,
He had no lines.
No, you know, I mean, so people have, you know, it's not about the lines. It's about the intention. It's about the character. It's about peeling that onion back and breathing life into this character that these wonderful writers have created.
right.
That's all you can do as an actor. Is that's the only thing you really have control of is breathing life. So the more research you do, the more visceral you get, the more you're in tune with this character, the easier it is
Right.
to learn the lines. And that's how I learn my lines.
So
And
you
that's-
learn it from the outside in.
No, I
More
learn
of
it
a-
from the inside out.
More inside out.
Right.
then.
The lines are usually the last thing I learn. I don't worry about the lines.
You worry about the
intention.
stuff that's happening
Yeah.
that make you say what you're going to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
That's
get some-
it's a little different for when you're working in indie films.
Yeah.
And in television because you're restricted with what you can change.
Yeah.
You have more freedom when you're doing independent projects. First of all, normally you're there with the director,
Right.
and the writer's usually not there.
No,
and
not in TV.
Right, and they allow you the freedom.
They got a shooting schedule on TV. They're spending millions of dollars. They got to hit it. Bing, bing, bing.
Yeah,
bing,
no,
bing.
you can't change A from A.
No, absolutely not.
You need to.
What new things you've got coming up?
So Canal Street.
Okay, tell me about that.
So Canal Street is a fantastic film that is going to be airing in film in the theaters January 18th, 2019. It was directed by Brian Lamar, executive produced by Yancy Arias from Queen of the South.
Yes.
Starring Brian Brashear Gray from Empire.
Yep.
Long list of stars, and it really touches on the climate and what's happening today, and it's important. It's without giving it away. It has to do with racism and politics, and it's just you have to go see it. It's really fantastic. And what I love is I've worked with Ryan Lamar before in another film, and it's a family based film, faith-based,
Right.
and anybody can see it.
Yeah, faith-based films are becoming very popular.
Yes, yes, but the way he shoots them, they're gritty and they're honest.
Well, then it's not about sitting there and praying to God all the
Right.
time, and that's not what faith-based films are. It's just a truthful interpretation of a story.
Yeah.
That people happen to believe that God is all powerful.
Yeah.
I mean, people still have the ups and downs of life. Doesn't change.
Right.
So that's what's happened to the growth of faith-based films is they become just like regular things.
Right.
In that respect. And are we going to be able to see that in full distribution, or is it limited, or is it on HBO or Netflix,
No,
or where's it at?
it received distribution for the film. It's January 18th. It'll be in theaters.
You going to
Please
have
go
a
check it
premiere
out.
somewhere?
Yeah, we are.
Right, can I come?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Let me call talk to Ryan and make sure that he has the right tickets. And let me, you can come. And then it's like, you know what?
I just want to
Ryan
come.
said you can't come.
That's all right.
Let me get permission first.
I'll sneak in. I'll find another way. I talked myself into the friggin' White House once.
Yeah,
So, absolutely. So that's coming up, and that's first thing in the new year. And
first thing, yeah.
So what else is happening next year for you?
So my
that you know
husband, so there's something that I have that I can't talk about with my agent.
Right.
So that's because I don't have it. So
Right.
you can't talk about what you don't have.
No.
But there is something that I'm praying that I do get, and it'll be long term. But outside of that, my husband and I, we have a production company, DNA Media Productions. And we have 2 projects that we are currently pitching. So I'm
That's a never-ending process.
Yes.
Pitching to get some money to build these projects, man.
well, we shot 2 pilots, so they're shot. We're pitching them
to fund the whole
to
the
get picked up. Yeah,
absolutely.
and and I think that now we have more opportunities with Hulu and Amazon and Netflix, and so I'm praying that now it's a good time.
So you're going to hire me as an actor, or
We got something for you. I'm the writer and creator, so I'll create something for you. Okay.
Look if you don't hire me as an actor, I'll just pull the cords and the cameras and the lights. Just give me a job, please. I want a job, please. Feel like I don't ask you for $25.
We'll have something for you. We got you. We got you.
You see, isn't this really petty? This is how I get employed.
That's how we all. It's called the grind.
Yeah,
it's grinding.
Well, I'm telling you, it is. It never stops. I've been doing this my whole life,
Yeah,
so
yeah. Networking is something that I have had to learn.
Yeah.
I'm not as good as other people,
come on.
and I have to really
with that
work.
vibrant personality. You have, how do the fans? We're coming to the end of the show already. Can you believe it?
Really?
It's an hour. Can you believe
man.
that? We could go on talking like this for 3 hours.
Yes, we can.
So you going to come back?
I will.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And when your husband's back in town,
yes,
bring him in too.
I definitely will.
Give him some love.
Okay.
Right?
We'll do.
We'll do a little comedy skit or something.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
Absolutely.
Why not?
I'm just auditioning. That's all I'm doing. How can the fans find you, the new fans? How can they find you?
ADA LUZ PLA or ADA LUZ PLA Williams, all across the board.
Okay.
So I
Just
mean,
put it in
Twitter,
and bang. Okay.
my fan page, and Facebook, Instagram. You'll be able to find me because ADA LUZ PLA.
Mayans comes out, coming up.
We don't know yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's coming up.
But it has been picked up for a second season.
Canal Street.
January 18th, 2019.
And anything else, just check her out on social media.
Yeah.
And we'll keep you
Yes,
notified
stay tuned.
about what
I'll
we're
definitely
gonna
keep you posted.
Oh, man. I'm going to blow your name again. ADA LUZ PLA.
That's good enough.
Okay. Close?
That's close.
I'm just going to call you Ada.
Do that. Everybody
Ada.
calls me Ada.
Yeah, or Pla. Pla.
No.
No,
No,
Pla?
because they used to make fun of me. They used to call me Pla, fizz, figgies, all water.
Okay, all right. No.
I didn't like that.
The Brown Beauty's off duty. The Jessie T Show. See ya. Okay, you don't have to give me a job. It's just, can I borrow $10?
You know what? I can give you my card.